Hey, Sissy Lawyer. Hey, TJ Olaleye. Hey, TJ Olaleye. Hello, Mr. Olajumeji. Ekujomeka. TJ, Bawoni. What does that mean? What does that mean? Bawoni. TJ. Like that's like your darn voice is in children's museum with Yoruba language. You don't know what Bawoni means. But I've taught you that like 200 million times. But anyway, y'all just. Hi, everyone. Happy Tuesday. Happy new month. Welcome to February. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. Hello, Fem. Is it? I've always wondered whenever I see your. Is it Fembike or Fembike? What is so Femi what? Femi what? What is the combination? Femi and what? That's my older brother's name. He says I'm sassy. Well, that's a compliment. I am. Hi, everyone. Hello, Miss Eleanor Sanctuary. You don't reply your WhatsApp most time. Actually, we do. There's no WhatsApp that my assistant does it. Lydia does it. Every single message is responded to. Maybe you got a response you didn't like. That's completely different from not getting a response. So unless you can send a screenshot of what you sent that you didn't get a response to, and I can pull that off because I can tell how to send it to me, but I can guarantee you got a response. Okay. But anyway, hi everyone. Welcome in, and hello to you, Ayola. That should be the first thing to say. Not I can start with the accusatory line. You know, it's anyway. Hey, Miss Lucy, how are you? Hi everybody. But anyway, as I was saying, happy new month to everyone. If you're calling on WhatsApp, we don't take calls on WhatsApp. You just said text. You said messages. If you're calling on WhatsApp, it's very, very clear in our WhatsApp. If you read it, it's very clear. We do not accept calls on WhatsApp. So if you're calling WhatsApp, it's just ringing. Nobody's attending to it because we've disabled our calls on WhatsApp. If you need to consult with me regarding the case, you're going to schedule a paid consultation. Okay? So you're not going to make an accusation without backing it up. You haven't met me. But anyway, hello, Ayabami 201. Let me restart again. I hate when people affect my energy. But welcome to February, everybody. Finally, the 31,000 days of January have ended. 31,000 days of January have ended. Now we're in February. Welcome to a new month. We decree and declare that this is a month that God is going to visit us with answered prayers. We're going to see that which we have placed before the throne of grace and waiting on God to find it. Shandy, I completely forgot to send you a message. Literally, I was driving home. I was going to send you a message. Pastor Isaac, is it okay to put his email? I don't want to put his number, but his email address so they can contact him, and then he can give whoever contacts him his number to contact him. Can you help me verify before the end? So I'll just put it up, and I'll have it up so you can contact him, because y'all have to call Pastor Isaac if you want a one-on-one prayer session. And I don't think I've ever said, because I believe everybody has a direct communication line to God. That's just it. But there are some people, just like, there are people who are pastors of churches. There are some people who that they're just gifted with prayers. They're gifted with intercession on behalf of and interceding on behalf of other people. And that is, okay, thank you. That is what Pastor Isaac. When I tell you that miracles have transpired between Thursday and today, y'all, I'm not kidding. Like, two of those people whose cases turned around between Friday and yesterday were actually on live with us on Thursday. One of them being Mr. AF that Miss Tina referred to us. When I tell you that even God used me, I'm telling you, he listen, I I need him to pray for me. When I tell you that even God used me to show me that when he decides to show off, show out, show off, show out, and show off, no one, there will be no confusion that it's all the hand of God. That's Mr. AF's case. Because when I tell you that, I told her, listen, I even put it in my contract, like disclaimer, there's a high possibility that this case is going to be denied due to this divorce decree. So, y'all, we responded to this RFE, and in just a little over a week, they approved his VAWA case. Not only did they approve his VAWA case, but normally, because they already know me in Vermont Service Center, I'm always fighting them with something. I usually would have, because obviously his I-485 was denied. So usually you have to send them an email and like, hey, y'all, can you reopen this? It's, you already reopened this. Why is it still? They literally reopened it on their own. We found that out because we just put in the case down. Like, before I send an email in bold red fonts, let's see if they actually literally reopened that I-485 on their own yesterday after the VAWA approval. And when God speaks, who dares to change it? So this man came on and blessed us with his words on Thursday. And for me, we were done. I was like, you know what? I claim it. Ms. 𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒓𝒂𝒏𝒕 was gracious enough to send me the ones that I missed, because obviously I could watch my video back, but I used those passages and I prayed. And for me, I don't send anything out without prayer. That's just my I'm a creature of habit. That's what I do every single time. So when I tell you, y'all just need to have a one-on-one session with him, because I believe in the power of prayer. There's no stronger weapon you can use in fighting battles, whether it's spiritual battles, besides the power of prayer. Now, if you don't believe in Jesus and God, that's okay. That's on you. But for me, I always say that I'd rather believe in God, and at the end of it, if there's no rapture and there's no God, it won't have been a waste of my time, than not to do it at all and find out that God is real and rapture is happening and left behind. It's not gonna happen. Like we're going to heaven together, But so I will, once Finance Journey confirms that, I'll put his email up. Contact him. He does one-on-one sessions. Obviously, you have to bless the man of God so he can bless his ministry, because he's a member of a church, so his ministry can grow. He works full-time, in his own personal life. And so once again, Pastor Isaac, we are grateful. We thank you for coming to pray with us on Thursday. We are seeing God's favor, and he's the one whose case was approved in 3 months. Go figure. So that's it. That you can never have. There's one thing you can never have too many of, and that's prayers. You can never have too many people praying for you, because what else? But anyway, so once I confirm that, we're going to heaven. We're missing it for nothing. I was saying something in court today, and people just started laughing. I was like, see, y'all are the ones that want to make me miss heaven, because y'all just, you just say something, I got to respond. But welcome to our month of answered prayers. Welcome to a month that God is going to show us favor. Welcome to a month that things that we thought were impossible will become possible. And even if things are not going the way you think that you planned or intended or hope they will, we're just starting this year. God still has many miracles and stuff for us, where you're a miracle and a testimony that's got your name on it. So just keep going and don't lose faith. This is Attorney 𝒊𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒓𝒂𝒏𝒕, immigration attorney based in Alabama, representing immigration clients in all 50 states. I should be your Valentine. I know you don't trust me. You don't want me to be your Valentine. Like, while I'm equal, I'm trying to save someone, because everyone, my girlfriend Joy is like, Abby, I have to find you someone. I was like, good luck. Listen, what can I say? It is what it is. But anyway, we will be glad to represent you. It's been a while I actually celebrated Valentine. So Valentine is still a thing. Okay, y'all, good for y'all. Anyway, if you've got an immigration case, it's a case style that we handle. VAWA cases, H-1B, EB-2, employer-sponsored, EB-3, asylum, citizenship, fiancé visa, uh, some removal cases, we will be glad to represent you. 334-341-4475. Can y'all confirm for me that you can hear me on YouTube? And Miss Abena, can you hear me on YouTube? Okay, and Facebook. They like 28 people so far. Yeah. Anybody? Hey, Miss Giwa, how are you? Mr. Bennett, so yes, no. Anyway, I will wait to help me. Thank you. Thank you. I want to think I am. I want to think I am. Perfect. Thank you. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel. We're trying to build our audience at Olale Immigration. Subscribe, follow, share, like, all of that. You okay, baby? Oh, never mind. Telling the life of a mother, you just hear kind of sounds and all. We will very much appreciate that. Let's talk immigration, y'all. A whole lot has been going on. Everybody knows that, so everybody's got questions, but tonight I want to address when a case gets denied, especially during this administration. This is not the time that you want to have a denial and not do anything or not be proactive about what you do, right? We're not in the Biden days where you can be, flying under the radar. Is like, okay, let me decide what I want to do. No, we are in those times where literally this is not, they said, he said, she said. No, these ICE folks are literally not just deporting undocumented immigrants. They are actually arresting people who are in that have pending cases. One of my colleagues yesterday had an emergency call from a client that I had referred to them for a T visa, and that person was arrested. And I said they had a fake ID and fake EAD, which wasn't true. Not T visa, U visa, which wasn't true, even though they've got a bona fide determination. So it was a whole lot of mess. So that's what we're seeing. So the last thing you want to do is, if you've got a denied case, you're sitting back and just like, okay, this is like 𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒓𝒄. That's what we're going to talk about tonight. Because if you like, hopefully not. I hope nothing happens to my clients where you call me in the middle of the night. But what can we do? We've got to respond. And so my office phone is connected to my cell phone. So if I get any immediate or emergent contact from a client or message from a client, I'm able to respond and all that. But so we're talking about case denied, what are my next steps? That's what we're talking about tonight. Case denied, what are my next steps? First of all, the very first thing you want to do, obviously, is, because everybody's got the case tracker. Everybody's got case tracker. That's the first alert you get. Once you get that, before you panic, pray. That's the first thing I want you to do. Before you panic, just pray. It's a denial, yes, but pray that God gives you, peace in the midst of the storm, and the discernment and the wisdom to know what step to take. Because obviously people you panic. It's just the normal reaction in that kind of situation. But once you get the alert, wait to get the actual notices. Your case tracker is not going to tell you why your case was denied unless you've got a case where you have access to getting the decision or the notices on your uploaded to your USCIS account. Most people have to wait to get in the mail. So yeah, case denied, what are my next steps? Thank you, Ms. Secretary. So when you get the alert, don't panic, pray, get your notices first. Once you have the notices, because there's nothing, you can't take any step without knowing what the grounds for the denial were, right? I mean, you're going to be flying blindly. So wait until you get the notices. Once you have the notices, let's see. Okay, so because usually when you get a denial, you've got options of filing an appeal, filing a motion to reopen. It is important so you get an alert, wait to get the notices. Once you get the notices, it's always best if it's something that is pretty straightforward. For instance, an example would be If USCIS sends you a request for evidence for of affidavit of support, you send the response in, and your response does not adequately address the deficiency and is denied based on the affidavit of support, and you've got, the denied of 485. Now you've got 30 to 33 days, depending on how you get the notice, to file an appeal, to file a motion to reopen and reconsider. And the question then is, what do I do? Do I file a motion to reopen, a motion to reconsider? Do I file a new I-485? In that situation, because it's a pretty straightforward ground for denial, meaning if you've got a new another joint sponsor, or you're able to get the documents that were deficient in the initial filing, then that's a pretty straightforward. So that brings it to the next step. You've got to be aware of the limit, the timeline you have. Most of the time you would have either 30 or 33 days, depending on, is it an I-130 appeal, which is 30 days? Is it a 290B? If you're getting it by mail, it's 33 days. Be aware of the deadline, because once you miss that deadline, that's it. And you may not necessarily have much choice in refiling. Your better option may be to file a motion to reopen a 290B or ER 29, depending on what kind of case it is. So grounds for denial. What are your grounds for denial? The grounds for denial is the grounds are going to determine what next step to take. So you get an alert, get your notice, review your notice. If you have an attorney on your case, obviously you review with your attorney. Your attorney is in the best position to tell you what step to take. They worked on your case. They are aware, they are familiar with your case. If you don't have an attorney, make a consultation as soon as possible with an attorney so that you can have your case evaluated and be on the right track as far as what are the next steps to take. So what are your grounds for denial? Those grounds are going to determine what should you do. Because normally, I before this guy came in, last month, under the Biden administration, I would say, it would depend on, when people are saying, my case is denied, will I get a notice to appear in immigration court? How quickly should I expect one? There's so many factors that go into that. One being what state are you living in? How many applications have you filed before? Are you on USCIS radar where you've just been filing applications and getting denied and getting denied upon denial, and they're just like, it's time for you to go to immigration court. But for the most part, most states, most field offices, they will probably just give you, at least that 33 days period where you're supposed to file something, or up to 60 days. It's a different time we're living in now, right? These people literally, have access to information of immigrants through the USCIS and ER, because it's government, all in the interest of national security. So they can easily access a case that is denied. So that's why it is very, very important that you're proactive with your case if you get a denial. So based on the grounds for your denial will determine what step to take. Should you file the motion to reopen and reconsider? Should you refile the petition? Should you file an appeal? Should you look to another immigration benefit that you qualify for? So depending on your ground, that's going to determine what steps to take. Those steps that you have to take will have to be taken as soon as possible. Do not wait until you get a notice to European Immigration Court. It is not the same as when we had, PD requests, when we didn't worry much about you getting into court, or unless you're in a situation where it's actually beneficial for you to be in court. And people like to say, acknowledge my beneficial lot in court, because some people will have a better option, better reliefs in court than they do with USCIS. Example, you don't really have, for instance, you've been here up to 10 years, and your asylum case is not strong enough. You've been here at least 10 years. You were referred to immigration court because your asylum case was denied by USCIS, and they referred you to immigration court. You've been in court, and now it's your 10th year in the United States. You've got a qualifying relative that can be the person to use for extreme hardship. In that situation, someone like that can apply for cancellation or removal, right? You can apply for non-LPR cancellation removal based on being in the United States for 10 years. And you can only apply for cancellation removal if you are in immigration court. If you're not in immigration court, that's why the whole point is called removal, cancellation of removal, canceling the removal proceedings. And that's the relief that's only available to you in court. So it's not always a bad thing, but it's not, most people are not in that situation. So this is not a time you want to wait to get an NTA to be referred to immigration court, because they are literally doing expedited removals in the country. Like, they're arresting the citizens. Like, go figure. It's amazing. Just because they're brown skin, you know, they have an accent, you know, oh my, you know, I can just be somewhere. But it's true. That's what we're seeing. So what steps? So, you know, case denied, what are your next steps? Your next steps, you've got to be proactive with your next step. Do not waste time about that. But do not panic when you get an alert. Wait to get the actual, because if you consult with me or any other attorney based on, okay, you got an alert and your case was denied, you consult with me, there isn't much I'm going to help you with, because we don't have a denial notice. How much, if I didn't work on your case, how am I supposed to know what your reason? You know, the best we can do is maybe you got an RFE before the denial, maybe you got a note before the denial. The best we can do is to review that, but it won't actually give me an insight into why the case was actually denied. So I know it could be scary, it could be nerve-wracking, but wait until you get the alert, the notices. Be mindful of the deadline you've got, and based on the grounds for the denial, that will determine, do you refile? Do you file a motion to reopen? Do you file an appeal? Do you look into what other immigration benefits you may be eligible for? Making sure that you do all of that within the time frame that you've got. This is not, and I'm going to reiterate, you're not waiting until you want to figure something out 90 days or no, this is not the time to do that. Can you still, I mean, if you're, God forbid, but you get issued a notice to appear in immigration court, are you still able to apply for marriage-based cases and all that? If you've got a bona fide marriage, absolutely. But you've got to now fight getting out of court. Hopefully, you're not stuck in this crossfire that's going on. And real quick, in addition to being able to get something or being proactive, this is not the time anyone wants to get arrested for any kind of crime. And by Donald, along with the the Laken-Riley Act has been signed into law. It's not something that we're just, and the thing is, quite a number of Democrats joined in and passed the bill. This law makes it mandatory for any undocumented immigrant to be arrested and detained, transferred to custody of ICE and detained, and can be expedited or removed, even if that charge against you to include petty offenses like simple theft, shoplifting, even if you're found not guilty or the charge is dismissed, the person may have already been deported. So a word is enough for the wise. This is, just make sure that you are, and then let me be clear that a pending case does not confer on you any legal status. A pending case authorizes you to stay because you have something that's been adjudicated with USCIS. But a pending case isn't going to help you if you get arrested, for a simple offense, even if you were innocent, because it's almost like you're guilty until proven innocence, which is contrary to what the Constitution says. But those are the times we're living in right now. So that's all she wrote, people. I hope that helps, because that's something that's come up quite a bit. And I consulted with someone today whose case was denied, and they're freaking out, rightfully so. But that's where we are. You just be mindful of what's going on and be proactive. Just, that's just trying to do my part in all of this. And Allah, as my mom would say, Allah Akbar. I don't know what that means, but I think it means something along the line of God save us, something like that, right? I think. Okay, let's try to get as many questions answered, because I know we had quite a bit from last. And if you guys have any questions on the things that have been going on, put your questions in the comment section. I will try to get to as many questions as I possibly can. Disclaimer, answers to your questions or general information. Emani answers no, no, so nothing. Just like on down questioning, and that's all. That's all it is. Okay. All right. Let's see. And I'm 6 weeks post surgery, y'all. I feel so good. Like I just thank God, knock on wood. Thank God for strength, for healing. It's, woo. That was that was a marathon. Like what? But anyway, hello, Mr. Kende. How are you? Happy new month to you as well. It's going to be a favored month. We're going to excel. We're going to succeed. Oh, and Pastor, can you talk about the dual citizenship issue? I'm not sure what you mean by dual citizenship issue, but I'm thinking that there's this crazy post, I think it started on TikTok, about somebody being denied. If that's what, is that what you're talking about? If that's what you're talking about, I can tell you that nobody has confirmed that, but that's not how things work. The U.S. government does not control what travel documents, entry documents you have to be able to get into another country. So that's where they lost me there. That's just not how this works. That's overreaching. The U.S. government cannot control you. They cannot stop you from having dual citizenship, and they cannot control what travel documents you use in entering another country. They can control what you use in coming into the United States. So that's the one thing. I'm not sure where that started from, but they cannot tell you what to use. The U.S. government cannot tell me if I'm going to Nigeria not to use my Nigerian passport. I don't have one, but you get one. Yo, releasing, we don't judge. Keep your judgment to yourself. So, but it can't tell me not to use my Nigerian passport to go into Nigeria. I mean, what? Yeah, they cannot tell you what to do in another country. That's them. But on my way back, obviously, I'm not going to present my Nigerian passport on my way coming back to the United States. I'm going to use my American passport because I'm an American citizen, and this is where I live, and that's the country I'm coming into. So we don't know where that started, but it goes against what the policy is. There's just no such thing that's going to happen. So we haven't confirmed it. So I don't really know where that's coming from. But yeah, so that's that for right now. If that changes, we'll let you know. Okay. If let's see. Y'all, I can't talk about that right now because I was in the process of reading through it. So it's not something I can have. I can suggest anything on right now. Let me put it that way. Yes. So please remember that we represent immigration clients in all 50 states. It doesn't matter what state you live in. Alaska. Case in Alaska, I'm shopping with my lord because we'll be black people, but I'm sure there are black folks. But you get my point. But let's stay on this side of the water. Yeah, and it's too cold. So, but we represent immigration clients in all 50 states. So we're glad to represent you. We come together every Tuesday and Thursday, 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time Zone. Talk all things immigration and celebrate another. So we celebrate Mr. AF. Y'all don't even know. We started with he came to me when his vial case was denied. His vial case was denied because he was sent an RFE, and then he didn't get the RFE. So based on abandonment. So his sister Miss Tina representing, well, not blood sister, but she's like a big sister to him. Sending my way. And it was like, Sister Laura, you've got to, pressure, right? So we filed a motion to reopen. They denied the first motion to reopen. They said, well, you haven't convinced us that he didn't receive the RFE. And so even if you convince us, you haven't responded to what the issues were in the RFE. So we filed another motion to reopen. And that's where I went crazy with them. To know me is to know. Yeah. Because I was like, because like if I lecturing, how are we going to respond to an RFE that we don't know what you asked us for until your denial of this motion to reopen? We did not know what was contained in the Dawn RFE because I did a FOIA request. In the FOIA request of his record, only the first page of the RFE was in his record. So that was part of our evidence in the second motion to reopen. Like even the FOIA request that y'all kept, You only put the first page. So how in God's name is he supposed to know what to respond to, even if your document did not contain every single page? Okay, so now that you've told us this is what the RFE is about, I think it was good shared residence and good faith and something else. Okay. And in customary marriage, something, because he had been married twice before the abuse was found. So we did that. And then they reopened his case. And that was August 19, 2024. And we were celebrating, like, thank you, Jesus. The very next day, this people, my red fund, right, sent yet another RFE. And I was like, I'll be damned. Like, you just reopened the darn case. August 19, reopened. August 20, we issued an RFE. And I was like, okay, they sent another RFE. As if that was not bad enough. Then we could not even get the done RFE. They sent it August 20. We waited till September, and it turns out that it looks like they sent it to the same address he had an issue with that resulted in his case being denied to start with. So that's where my full board red fund came, like I emailed and gotten somebody like, did you, at the very least, y'all know I filed the I-290B. Y'all didn't put two and two together, like, okay, let's send a courtesy copy to the person who just already knows anything about it. Anyway, had to get the ombudsman office involved. Finally got a copy of the RFE through the ombudsman office. And so I fired them another email. I was like, hey, they just sent this to you guys, just sent this to the ombudsman office. We just literally got it today. So because y'all did not send it to where he already did a change of address, we are requesting for you to give us an extended time to respond to this RFE because because it was due. So they sent it August, it was due sometime in October or something, or November. So, but anyway, send an email, sent us yet, and so they decided to extend it. So extended it to January 2025, and then said, okay, by the way, your divorce decree, which they didn't mention, is questionable. I was like, But that's when I tell you that when God decides that he's going to step into your matter. So things I'm thinking about this case and I can't even say. But that was just a blessing. So we celebrate. This is a place where we celebrate. Mr. A, his case was, we filed his VAWA case March 2023. The VAWA petition was approved without any request to expedite nothing in August 2023 in 5 months. Had his I-485 interview February 2024, and the interviewing officer wanted to bring in, the issues he had with the abusive spouse in their marriage filing. There was actually a sworn statement that he had to sign because they alleged that he had paid her to be together, green card and all that, and to the point where he said, "Sister, I think I may want to withdraw this," and because they wanted to, like, we're not withdrawing anything. We're not. We're not. We're going to fight this to the very end. They don't want to. We did inquiries, congressional assistance requests. So we're going to sit on it. And the transfer this case, we're going to sit on it. No issues. We had Pastor Isaac come pray for us on Thursday. So that was Thursday. Friday, was it Friday? Friday or Saturday? Got a notification that they approved his I-485 after a whole year. So from start to finish, his VAWA case from start to finish, just a little under 2 years. That's God. And I say all that to say this. We come together because this is one of our safest spaces. And it's encouraging for everyone so we're able to share these testimonies so that we can be encouraged. It doesn't matter what your case or your story is looking at this minute. The same God that stepped in for these folks, the same God who is using people to pray for each and every one of us, is still the same God that does not change. And he will meet you at the very point of your need. Just keep hanging on. Just keep hanging on. The worst you can do is to give up. Just don't give up. Okay. Don't forget to share your testimonies. Hello, Mr. Ken. How are you? Can I do cancellation removal pending VAWA and being here for 10 years? Are you in removal proceedings? If you're not in removal proceedings, that's the reason why there's removal in the application name. Cancellation of removal, it has to be in court. If you're not in court, you're not eligible for cancellation or removal unless you have been placed in deportation proceedings. I have a pending I-360, 765, request expedited for work permit, currently told to wait 10 days for email. Is that positive? I can't speculate to what's going on in the case I don't represent you in. Can I request a joint motion to reopen in court with approved I-130 to file an I-485 in court after denied prosecutorial discretion? Yes, you can. I would suggest that you want to go with an attorney. Hello, Miss Christiana. How are you? Only God can do. Yes. Hello, Miss Bossa. What God cannot do does not exist. Tell me about it. I called, it was Sunday. It was Sunday, Mr. AF, the Vikings was Sunday, because I remember I called him and he was very, very shaking because like, why are you calling me on a Sunday? Y'all, when I tell you that I am passionate about what I do, I work on Sundays, yes. Or some Sundays I always tell myself, but I literally was working. So sitting here and I just saw that email coming. I almost passed out. I'm telling you, you would think it was my personal case. And I called him like, you wonder why I called you on a Sunday? He goes, yes. I said, what? And said, your VOD case has been approved. This guy started crying. He just started crying. Like he made me cry. And it's not easy to make me cry. He just started crying. And because his case has been since 2019, 6 years. I got his number right here. I'll tell you. 2020, 19 or 20. So either 5 or 6 years. Been a long time. So yeah, but we thank God. After medical received, Lady B, what is I'm not sure I understand your question. Rephrase your question or complete your question, I should say. Hey, TikTok family. Hi, everybody. Okay, let's see. Right. What about withholding or removal will be deported? Disclaimer, nothing specific to anyone's case. Generally, when you're granted a withholding or removal, keep in mind you've been ordered removed. You have a removal order against you when you're granted withholding or removal. It's just that they will not remove you to the country or countries where you fear persecution. That's the withholding part of it. So we have ordered you removed, but we're going to withhold that removal because we cannot take you back to that country that you said you're afraid of. But we're going to ask third-party countries if they're willing to accept you. For the most part, no third-party country usually is willing to. So that's why people actually get withholding or removal, can work, and they stay here indefinitely. So because there is that withholding part, they cannot remove the person to that place. That's part of the court order. Now, can they remove you to a third-party country that is willing to accept you? Yes. So someone withholding or removal already has a deportation order against them. It's just that they will not be removed to the country of persecution. Hope that answers your question. Do you do VOD? Yes, we do VOD cases. Are permanent residents safe with all that's going on? As long as you're will charge you with any crime, you're fine. You're minding your own darn business. But like I said, nobody can guarantee anything. If they end up arresting citizens, let alone, people who've got deferred action. Someone else also said, because I'm a member of my immigration lawyers group, someone said one of their clients who has CG status, special immigrant juvenile status, and just waiting for the priority to become current, was also arrested. They said that they didn't believe that she actually had. So I'm not sure how that, because that was earlier today. I was reading the post on that. It's madness what's going on. So just what we're telling our clients, because for instance, in my firm, every other month we send out emails to clients. Even if we've got no updates on your case, we just touch base with you because we want you to know that, hey, we haven't forgotten about your case. We just haven't heard anything on our end. And so so this month, this February, I've got my paralegals and attorney Gosha sending updates out, and we're letting them know, and people are asking a lot of questions. We're also letting them know, hey, your case is pending. Be sure to have your receipt notices, proof that you've got a pending case with you at all times, just to be on the safe side. Underscore Z081, thank you. We are based in Alabama, but we represent immigration clients in all 50 states. I got a 2-year green card, about to take a trip outside of your country. Am I safe? Any question about you traveling? That's if you've watched me enough, I don't answer those questions. If you're not a client of mine, that's something you're going to address with your attorney. Is there always an interview for I-130? So I had an interview Thursday. Was it Thursday? Oh, it was Friday. I joined this. This is in New Jersey, Mount Laurel, New Jersey. I joined in telephonically, but based on a marriage-based case, and I just wanted to know one of the questions I was just, we're done with the interview, and I was asking the officer, like, hey, so is there any intel as far as do we expect interviews generally for all clients now, all applicants now, or what is going on? And he was like, I really cannot say, but it looks like it doesn't matter. But it looks like we're going to be scheduling interviews for every marriage case based on what's going on around here, where the words he says, because what I just don't want to be quoted saying anything. Point being, it looks like we're going to see an influx of interviews being scheduled again. And that was what happened during his first term. I expect the same thing regardless of how strong your case is. So it's not like there's always, they may bring that policy back, because under Biden, they had that policy that there's a possibility that they can waive interviews. It looks like they're going to do away with that and have everyone come in for an interview now. Okay, let's see. You are welcome. I was ordered to do fingerprints. Does that mean that we'll soon get a work permit? And that doesn't necessarily mean that, but it may help to speed up your work authorization application. Can you do consultation for a group on Google Meet? I don't do group consultations. It's a one-on-one thing for each person. I don't do group. Everybody has to pay for their own consults. Let's see. Could that case be from someone that got their pathway to citizenship? What case? Would it be okay to file an I-130 without a lawyer to save money? Have been here. Well, I mean, it's up to you. That's a decision you make on your own. If they chose to return to that country with the passport. Oh, okay. Should I connect? Okay, let me see. I think I understand what you're saying. Could that case be from someone that got their pathway? Oh, you're saying that this whole story going on around, especially I think it started in TikTok, is it somebody who actually was granted asylee status based on claiming that they were afraid to go back to that country, and now they went back to that country? Because obviously, if you get an asylee status, you're not expected to still have a passport from that country unless things have changed. There's no more fear. You've got to prove that that fear no longer exists. Normally, what you would do as an asylee, especially before you become a U.S. citizen, is to get a refugee travel document. But once you become a U.S. citizen, then that's going to be your passport. So you're saying maybe that's what happened, and they found out that I know that if this story is true, because we don't even believe if it's something someone made up, but if it's true, there's got to be a whole lot more to what's going on than this. But the one thing I can tell you for a fact is this: the U.S. government has no authority to tell another government what entry documents people can use. It's just like UK telling the U.S. like, okay, a British citizen cannot come into the U.S. with a U.S. passport if they have dual citizenship, or will not let them back into the UK. Think about it, right? No country can make another law for another country based on their immigration laws. So, yeah. Can your EAD for renewal be denied? USCIS can deny anything. Will initial filing AOS or VAB be accepted by USCIS if submitted with an expired passport? Your passport has nothing to do with having an expired passport has nothing to do with whether they would accept your marriage-based case of VAB. I don't even know. I can count on one hand how many cases were filed with valid or current passport. Like, yeah, unless if you want to travel, obviously you gotta get your passport. I received prima facie determination December 2024. How long does it take to get my I-45 approved? Your VAW has to be approved first. Prima facie determination is not a VAW approval. That's just we've reviewed your case. It is approvable. And then we're going to sit on this case for the next 3.5 years, and we'll tell you in the next 3 or 4 years whether we're going to approve your case or not. That's going to happen first, way before your I-45 is adjudicated. Is anyone with EAD free from deportation? And I think I had a video up. Please hear me loud and clear. Having a work permit does nothing for you. Let me say that again. A work authorization is no authorization to stay in the country. The only thing it does for you is so you can work legally in the United States. Having a work permit is not a status. I can't even tell you how many people have consults, and I'm looking through the intake, and they say, what's your immigration status if you have any? And they go, work permit status. There's nothing like work permit status. Work permit comes based off of you filing something. You've got an I-45 that's pending, so you're eligible to file a C9 category work permit. You've got a pending asylum application, so you've got the ground to file a C8 category work permit. You've got a VAW approval, so you've got a basis to file to get a C31 automatically issued to you or to file one. A work permit by itself does nothing for you other than I can work. So there's nothing that stops because you have a work permit doesn't mean you can't be removed. Okay, let's see. Does an I-360 applicant pending status bar us from removal under Laken-Riley? Laken-Riley Act has nothing to do with your pending status. Laken-Riley is if you get in trouble, you're arrested for a specific offense, where they're required to hold you. It has nothing to do with your status. How long does it take for VAD to be approved? 200 years. Right now, they're on 41.5 months. I have a 2-year green card and divorce. Do you think my 10 years is at risk? I can't speak to something I don't know about. You may want to talk to a lawyer and see where you stand. And keep in mind, if you're already divorced and you've got a 2-year green card and you're divorced, you do not have to wait for 2 years. You do not have to wait up to the 90 days before the second anniversary to file your I-751. Once you are filing a self-petition, divorce, abuse, hardship, death, you're able to file your 751 at any time after you get your 2-year green card. I have a removal since 2008. Oh, wow, 16, 17 years. I have check-in tomorrow. Am I at risk? I cannot advise you on something I don't represent you on. I'm sorry. Okay. That girl, yeah, I can see your question. It's just because you put it so many times, and if you repeat questions, I usually just skip it. It's not fair to have to sift through that when other people are also trying to get their questions in. Okay. Does it make sense to divorce a separated partner with pending VA application considering the current political situation? If I would assume that you'll have a strong VA case. Obviously, nothing can be guaranteed. But even if you are divorced from them, God forbid you have to restart your case. As long as the divorce has not been more than 2 years. So in your case, if your VA case has been pending for like maybe 3-4 years, closer to the end, hopefully not yours, but if someone's case gets denied and they have to refile, as long as the divorce is not more than 2 years, then that's fine. But if you are separated and no one is pressuring the other one to get a divorce, I just let sleeping dogs lie for right now and just see how things go with your case. What does motion to stay deportation order mean? Meaning to not execute the order yet and put it on pause. Does USCI still accept divorce from Nigeria? They do, but it's always best to make sure that it is a genuine document. If when in doubt, consult with a lawyer and have your documents evaluated before you start your case. Now, I'll tell you that I don't authenticate documents, obviously, because I'm a lawyer and that's not what I do. But in almost 10 years of doing this, especially within the last 2 to 3 years, I've seen all sorts of divorce decrees. I've been able to see, okay, it makes life a lot easier when you've got the right documents to start with. It makes life a lot easier. There are other things you may have to deal with, but the documents shouldn't be part of it. So, yeah. Do you think there's hope for retrogression to end anytime soon? I'm assuming that you're talking about employment-based cases. Listen. I have 3 NIW cases that have been approved since 2023. As of January, they were at August 2023 for priority dates, and so one of that NIW is September. So my client and I were like, we've been praying, like, okay, maybe February comes out and they're going to move forward and finally get the green card in, only for them to release the February 2025 visa bulletin, and they went all the way back to April 2023. I was about to pass out. Yeah. So that's what we're seeing. Okay, let's see. Hello, God's favorite. Happy New Month. The only liaison that is when we need to start running. It might just sound. Let's see. Take it a day at a time. Finance Shiny, any update? 31,000 days. I'm telling you. But God's favorite, I would agree with you though. This January was kind of fast. This January was kind of like on steroids or something. It went pretty fast. I was like, January it's only in, because January usually is like you've got to pay a whole lot because you're just coming from spending all your money in Christmas, and then you got bills waiting for you in January, and these kids have to go back to school. You're like, and then the month goes like little drops of water. But this year was kind of like fast. I know. I pray the next 4 years is super fast. Hello, Mr. Kelvin. Okay, let's see. God is indeed awesome. Okay. Yummy Face from Atlanta, Georgia. Thank you for joining. Appreciate that. 𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒓𝒂𝒏𝒕. Thank you for all you do for migrants. Applied for 3 years, about 3 years ago, and just received an update. And my case was transferred to another jurisdiction. Can you say if this is a good sign? It's not a good or bad sign. It's just part of the adjudication process. That's going to happen quite a bit of time, and a lot of people get like, I wish I could tell you why it is, but it's just part of the adjudicating process. It may just be the cases are following their officers are supposed to. It's a lot. I'm not even sure why we're filing with the Nebraska Service Center, only for them to send it back to the Vermont, and then they raise filing fees. This is the wrongest time of the year to find love. Why? Well, for those looking, Miss Sanctuary, can you enlighten us more? Why wait till spring? What's going on in the spring? Oh, it's okay with his email address. Okay, real quick before I forget, y'all. Y'all need to let me see. Give me 1 second. So if you are, I'm going to put it on because y'all need to contact Pastor Isaac. Like I said, there is power in prayer. Let me put it on. So if you are on YouTube and Facebook, it is on the screen. Pastor Isaac, for those who are just joining us, Pastor Isaac came on Thursday and he prayed with us. And I truly, truly believe that his declaration is in intercession on behalf of everyone. Is bringing about things and moving mountains, because Bible says, where two or three are gathered in my name, there I am. There are people who can intercede on your behalf. Not that you cannot pray on your own, but there are people who can intercede on your behalf, because everyone's anointing is different in their capacity. So if you want to reach out to Pastor Isaac, and let me do this real quick on TikTok, and especially now, I'm telling you, if there's nothing else this times with everything going on around us. I mean, he's like, last week he's like, the aviation industry, what the heck is going on? But at the end of it, all we can do really is put everything before the altar of grace. So his email address is 𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒓@gmail.com. So if you are on YouTube and on Facebook, you can just screenshot it or copy that. For those on TikTok and Instagram, it's 𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒓𝒂𝒏𝒕 @gmail.com. So 𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒒𝒐74@gmail.com. I'm going to leave it up there. So you email him. He actually does one-on-one prayer sessions. And you can always bless him, whatever it is you want to bless him with. This is just me saying, because I know I have been blessed through him and through him interceding. And if it helps to for people to speak on your behalf, to speak and to pray with you, and move mountains with you, and in God's name, why not? So there you go. All righty. Hello, Mr. Ufeso. I saw your email. I just haven't had time to respond to emails yet. People are just looking for who to build this. Listen, love my Babu himself. Thank you. Yeah, I'm coming down with a code, because every time TJ has a code, I have a code. Okay. Hello, Miss Sophia. Yes, I'm the queen of glasses. Like, I don't know how many I have. I love glasses. That's one obsession I have. I remembered when I got intensity, now I was shaking like I caught Holy Ghost. Yeah, it's never working. It is, but God remains God. That's the one thing that would never change. Okay, let's see. It felt as though my entire world was shattered before my eyes, piece by piece. I can imagine. But God remains faithful. We can always, that's guaranteed. Always. that God remains faithful. And I saw someone who had just reminded me of Mr. AA, the guy who we filed the vow for in March 2023. Now his green card has been approved. Funny thing is, his sister, when he came to me, and then his sister also was going through quite a bit with her husband, and had an approved I-130, but was in court. She had no clue how to get out of court. I think she had an attorney who she had lost communication. Anyway, long story short, so this is a case of a brother and a sister that both came to our firm, and both of them today have their green cards. And his mom, back in 2023, I don't play with prayers. That's one thing about me. I listen. Tell me the best gift you can give me is to pray. And you know how there's some prayers that mothers say in your language that you know that this is direct communication with God. Like don't even stand in my way. That was just really, I can never forget. Those are things that you just remember. Yes, Mr. in the sanctuary, listen, we don't judge. Yeah. So and the lipstick on my reply. Sometimes I read my emails to the Vermont Service Center. I'm like, sis lawyer. We're not bad at this, to the about being people you know. Client and magia. But those people can just, they can make you, yeah. Let's see. Yes. Dula Odunami. If you're still here, it's 𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒓𝒂𝒏𝒕. So 𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒒𝒑74@gmail.com. It will be on if you play this video again on YouTube or on Facebook. It will be on. So 𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒒𝒑@gmail.com. Regardless of your faith, when someone shares a prayer with you, just believe. God be praised. The same God is going to have me singing my praise of thanksgiving. Amen, Mr. Banner. You have no idea. You have no idea. Amen. Oh Lord, that would be, listen, you would think I'm getting my green card all over again. And no, Sanctuary, I love you. Final Shandy, I love you. But this young lady right here, oh my goodness, we would have to go all the way down and celebrate and have a 3-day party or something. Okay, let's see. Yes, so shall it be. What if you were denied 10 years and was not in removal proceeding? What can you do since you are here more than 10 years? You cannot, the cancellation of removal is only applicable and something you can apply for in court. So whatever it is that you applied for before, sit down with the lawyer and see if it's something you can refile. And just I can't say what you can do without having some background and insight into your history. That's one thing about you give updates. We try. I mean, some people would tell us, okay, so there's no update. Why you send us email? Like, okay, we don't have to. And then if we don't send the emails to the client, they're like, well, I didn't get an email from you guys last month. Oh, well, you told us. And like, Isaiah sent them the email what they said they don't want an update until there's actually an update. Then they changed them out like, well, I just want to hear from you. And that's what we thought we were doing. Like, I'm worried. It's like, make up your mind, which is it? But yeah, we just try because this is a lot. It's a lot. Is it possible not to go for an interview when filing in VA? VA, there's no interview for VA generally. However, December, under the Biden administration, they started scheduling interviews when you file a VA case, especially when you file with your I-485. Whether that's going to continue, I'm not sure. I haven't had any recently, so it's yet to see. It's yet to be seen. What about F1 student status? What about it? I already filed for VA. Can I get married? No, you cannot. If you have a pending VA case, you cannot remarry until your VA petition has been approved. If you remarry while your VA case is still pending, that is an automatic revocation of your VA petition. So if USCIS does not find out, they would eventually find out, and God forbid you already have a green card, they will rescind that green card. So you cannot remarry with a pending vow petition. Exactly. Yeah. But if one has an approved I-360 but no priority date, or the priority date is not current, that's a deferred action. So it's easy to get a deferred action. But even with it, and I'm not trying to scare anyone, but I'm just telling what happened to a colleague's client. Even with a deferred action, these people are disregarding that and then require people to actually prove that it's real. It's crazy. But that's the thing. You get a deferred action. That's why you're able to get, and wait until your priority date is current. And there's nothing you can do because you can't file a green card application before the priority date is current. You just can't. So, but have the documents with you. I hope that answers your question, Finance Shandy. USCIS sent a notice explaining intent to deny, but my husband refused to show me the notice and refused to go with me to the lawyer. What should I do? Sit down with a lawyer. That's almost like a recipe for filing a VAR case right there. You don't even want to waste time, because if you're eligible, someone is manipulating you or using your immigration case status to trying to sabotage your immigration status. I mean, that's a recipe right there for VAR. So sit down with the lawyer and figure out if you qualify. I tried to schedule with you, but you don't have anything until the 3rd week in February. This is true, I think. I know, yeah, you may be right, but yeah. Unless someone reschedules. So where is Pastor Isaac located? Miss Sophia, he is located in Maryland, but he, just like I do video consults, he can do a virtual meeting with you. So I'm not sure if he still has it, but he had a church back in Nigeria. So he is a pastor. He's a minister. So this is not a wannabe pastor. No, this is someone who is an ordained pastor. So thank you, Miss Sanctuary. So it's on Instagram too as well. What is the best way to contact USCIS about an error on your EAD? You've got to file the I-765 and just check that it was an error on their part, but you have to return the one where there's an error that has the error. Hey, Miss Geraldine, how are you? There's no way you pray. God bless you. Thank you. That's my mom would say, I know Bumi Jadura. Right? There's no other. Each time I see an approved green card updates on your page, I tap into the blessing, and I believe I will also thank God. Yes. And we will celebrate with you as well in Jesus' name. So shall it be. My wife didn't want to sign for the divorce. What should I do? Divorce is non-immigration related. Unless it's immigration related, then you can so either consult with. For instance, if you were filing a divorce in my state in Alabama, someone is refused to get you a divorce, you don't need them to agree to a divorce. You file a contested one-side divorce, and if they don't show up to court and they've been served and it's proof that they've been served, then you get a default judgment against on your behalf. So yeah. How soon does USCIS take to update a change of address? That's not a question I can answer. Thank you, lady. Watching from Jamaica. Welcome. I'm in the CR1 category, married to a U.S. citizen, documentary qualified January 24, 2025. How long before able to get a visa appointment in Jamaica? That's not a question I can answer. Hello, Mr. Gabriel. It will end in praise. Amen. That's embassy specific. Okay, let's see. All right, so I think we got through. Do you still need more evidence for green card interviews when you have a child with your partner? Even if you have a child, that's great evidence, but I still put everything in, like birth certificate, photographs, everything. Everything in the kitchen sink helps. Okay, all right. Did anything change with I-130 petition already filed, but curious with new administration? There's nothing. So I know there's so much. Let's see. Hey, Miss Mackie, you're right. I know there's can I apply for an employment-based visa while I oversee my student's visa for over 10 years. So that's one. That's also one area that a lot of people have been consulting with me on, and people are, for whatever reason, people are believing that if you have an employer who can sponsor you, then that takes care of you overstaying. Let me break it to you. It doesn't. An employer is sponsoring you for a visa petition is one thing. The I-140 petition can be approved all day, every day. That has nothing to do with whether or not you're going to get a green card. What determines if you will get a green card based off of employment petition is your admissibility. If you have overstayed your non-immigrant visa for more than 180 days, it doesn't matter how many employer-sponsored petitions you have approved on your behalf. You cannot get a green card based on any of those, because for employment purposes, unlike when you get married to a citizen, you are required to maintain a valid status up until you file your I-485 application, or if a Section 245K helps you, which is you haven't been out of status for more than 180 days. If that doesn't apply to you, you can't get a green card through employment sponsorship, unless you have, like, maybe there's somehow you got a 245I exemption or something, and that goes into a whole lot more details. So that's just what it is. Okay, please, after I-360 approval, when can the green card be approved? It can take anywhere from 2 months to a year. It just depends on everybody's case. There's so much information. There's so much, stories. Let me put that. Many stories being thrown out there, different things. Somebody from Côte d'Ivoire wasn't allowed. There's a whole lot. And because there's, people are just looking to, I wouldn't say take advantage, but it's almost like, be careful what you listen to. Let me put it that way. If when in doubt, check with your lawyer. It's a lot. I'm not going to. It's so much that we're going through as a firm, and the same for my colleagues as well. A lot of clients we get okay, I'm not even kidding. Right now, as I'm talking to y'all, I have 1,851 emails in my inbox, not total, not in my inbox, my personal email, 1,851. I can possibly go through that. I mean, I get emails every day, but I can understand because it is the time we're living in. So if you are in doubt about any information that you're getting, please ask your lawyer. So you just confirm that. And that's what a lot of our clients are doing. Like, hey, I heard this, I heard that. If I don't know, I tell them I don't know. It's not something I can confirm or deny or affirm. We just have to wait. But verify your source. Have your documentation with you if you've got a pending case. If you don't have a pending case, please understand this is not the time to just sit down. Unless you want to go back to your home country, that's fine too. There's nothing that says you can't do that. People actually have done that. But if you've invested a lot in this country and you're convinced that this is where God has ordained for your destiny to be, then you've got to do your part and just be proactive and find what you qualify for. So once again, this is a time that if nothing more, we need prayers. Pastor Isaac's email is on. We're not trying to sell church to you or whatever. It is just because I'm someone who knows that there is power in prayer. There is power in prayer. I've seen it. I've seen it a lot more. Let me start a church in it. There is power in prayer. And there's some people that you can feel their spirit. I'm someone who is, I'm very intuitive, and I thank God because my mom will tell you that I'm just someone who is able to, if I don't feel right with someone's spirit, I can tell. And this is a man that from day one, I just knew that his heart is good. And I reached out. I was the one who reached out to him the week before, and he was gracious enough to say I can come on Thursday. I know that coming and speaking on our behalf and agreeing in faith with us and in two cases that I did not see coming. I'm not even kidding you. If they told me Mr. AF's case was going to be approved, I would have told you no. I will give you my, my all my account numbers. You can take my money. No, don't try it, but I'm just saying, because I'm half a jibber. I don't play with my money. But when God uses people to show out for show himself out in your life, you can't take that for granted. So 𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒓𝒂𝒏𝒕, reach out to him. He does one-on-one sessions, and because pray and when you pray and he prays with you, you don't have to be told. Please bless his work, bless his ministry. And he has a church. He will let you know. I don't know anything about that. I just know that he prays with people, and that's a lot. And I'm passing that information across. And when he prays with you, please don't go back and start doubting. It's not a case of there's someone interceding on your behalf, but you've got to believe yourself. So nobody can have the faith on your behalf. You have to have faith that God is able to do that which he has promised on your behalf, and just know that it will work out in your favor. What is Pastor Isaac's handle? I don't know. Finance Shannon knows. Please send screenshot of your account details. Lemagwo. Lemagwo. Finance Shannon, what is his? Is he on Instagram? I don't know if he's on Instagram. I don't know. But that's email him and he'll let you know. I guess that's what you need to do. So hello, Mr. Kobina, how are you feeling? So email him and let you know. But just what that's my gift to everyone tonight, because prayer moves mountains. Prayers move mountains, and I can tell you, I've seen that. I've seen God at work, and I pray that God continues to work on our behalf. Don't lose hope. If you got a denial today and it wasn't what you were expecting, don't lose hope. If you got a notice of intent to deny, you got an RFE, and it has destabilized you, your children are involved in your cases, and you're wondering, where do I start? Don't lose hope. Bible says Abraham hoped against hope. Sometimes you got to hope against hope. It's when you hope against hope. When I tell you all that the same reason why VAR cases are denied is this, it was the same thing in Mr. AF's RFE that got it approved. When I tell you that prayers move mountains, prayers move mountains. Do not hoping against hope. The fact that something did not work out for somebody doesn't mean it's not going to work out in your favor. God shows mercy to those whom he chooses to show mercy, and compassion to those whom he chooses to show compassion. Just don't lose hope. This is a new month. We are going to speak into every day of this month that God is going to show up for us in those areas where people around us think like give up. God is going to show up, and he's going to use our stories and use our tongues to be able to testify to his glory. Every single day of this month, we are speaking it into existence, that there will be testimonies upon testimonies. Just keep going. No matter what the storm is around you, he's the same God, that the same storm that engulfed the Egyptians. It's the same storm that he parted that sea so that his own children could have safety. He will make a way where you cannot see your way. Don't let anyone derail you or dissuade you from that which God has promised for you. I'll see you guys on Thursday.